I'll show you what I've done so far, because it is a very boring process. I've been polishing up the crowns. They've come up quite nice. Now, as you can see, I'm not going absolutely ballistic. I mean, these are just machining marks. This is where it's been cast. I'm never really going to get that out, and you don't really need to polish these. It's just on board, basically. But the reason I'm doing it is because, as you can see here, I've got pebble dashing. Where the piston blew up, I've actually got pebble dashing, so I've had to cut here because there was chunks where you can see it here where it's actually gone through. Now, this isn't the end of the world. I've already polished up inside the inlet ports and they've come out quite nice. Now, like I said, I haven't gone mental. I don't really see the point. If this was NA, then yes, I would have gone mental. But to be fair, you don't really need to with a turbo. So again, I'm just cleaning it up, getting it ready. So what I use is, I use my good old faithful Dremel with the wire attachment. And then I buy these. Like, they don't last very long, but for a tenner, for 40, they're brilliant. So I just put the attachment in and then I start drilling away. You will need a gas mask or something to cover up your orifices, because obviously when you're polishing this up, you may get alley shards in there, and then obviously the dust from the abrasive wheel. You don't really want to be breathing it in because you'll get a sore throat, and obviously it could lead to worse things. I've done all of these. I've done the crowns. I've done inside. So now the fun, dirty bit of doing the exhaust. They're all right. They're not as oily as I thought, probably because I've cleaned them. But bear in mind, I did all this 300-400 miles ago. The main reason I'm doing it, exhaust is probably more important than the inlet because of the flow. It will just get rid of those gases a little bit quicker. On a turbo car, it's not so important. On an NA, it makes more of a difference. But as it's out and everything's pretty much just sat here doing nothing, waiting to go. Oh, I could polish up the rocker covers actually. You start with the most abrasive. I believe that's an 80, but not 80 as in what you think was sandpaper. There, it's rough, but it doesn't do that much damage. Get the old Dremel fired up and then I'll just go in and start polishing. So as you can see, once that starts spinning, they're the perfect size. That's got rid of all the dust, and it's sort of taken a very fine line out. It hasn't really done, it's done what I want it to. It's not porting. So the whole point of porting is to get rid of these like casting lines, which you can see there. I'm not that fussed about getting rid of them. If you had an NA car, then yeah, I'd probably port that, but I'm not that fussed. So I just want to polish these up a little bit, just to help the flow, just a tiny bit. So all you do is you start with the coarse, and then you work your way through to the next color, which I think is a 120. And then you go to the next color, which is like a 320, and then a 400. Then I do a 600, then I do an 800, then I do a 1200. And the 1200 is basically what gives you the polished finish. So again, like I said, with the exhaust one as well, when you start doing that, as you can see, especially with exhaust, it gets quite messy. So this is why you need a gas mask on. But obviously I can't do a video and talk with the gas mask on. I sound like Darth Vader. But yeah, so that's basically the long and short of it. So what you want to do is you want to get a nice consistent movement like that. You don't want to just sit there like that and let it do a point, because it will just start cutting into a section. So you want to just keep it moving like that and just go from there really, and then just work your way through the brushes. So I will now do this brush with every single one, and then move on to the next course and do every single one. Next course, do every blah, 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 blah. So 4.5 hours later, nicely polished. Like I said, I'm not going to town. I don't need to go to town. It was more of a clean-up job, just a little bit more of a flow scenario, but to be fair, it's come out all right. I'm happy with that. It's not 100%, it's not perfect, but it will do me fine. So I'm thinking I'll probably just buy a whole set of valves. I don't really want to risk it. They've done about 100,000 miles, so yeah, it's come out all right, that. So yeah, I didn't film the actual polishing of it. It's a very boring video, me sitting there for 3.5 hours with a Dremel just going in and out, in and out, in and out, very repetitive. But it's just patience, basically. Patience and not going too hard. You don't want to damage the valve seats. But yeah, it's a pretty simple job, so that's where we are at the moment. For those of you that haven't, I really would appreciate if you like and subscribe. Also, I now have a unit. It's currently being built. I am starting up a business building 1J and 2J engines. Obviously, I prefer 1Js, but it's pretty much exactly the same as a 2J. So if you are interested in me rebuilding your engine, or, well, if you're in the UK for a start, if you're looking for any sort of head work, block work, you know, you want your car doing, brakes, whatever, give me a shout in the comments below. So I will be getting an online shop as well. So just check that out, www.guerrillagarage.co.uk, I believe it is. Also, there is the Facebook group. Check out Guerrilla Garage on Facebook. I have also got Instagram, Guerrilla Garage on Instagram, so follow that, although I don't really follow on that, but I am going to try and keep that up to date because most of you guys seem to be on it and I'm not. There is a few subscribers that are now contacting me directly for advice, so if any of you guys need any help, then please feel free to message me, and I'm more than happy to help. But yeah, thank you very much for watching, and don't forget to press the buttons.